Justin Robert Young. He talks every day. If you want to support the show, you can go ahead to payjurydaily.com. Give me money! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Justin Robert Young Daily program for Tuesday, August 28th. Coming up on my little brother's birthday. He just remembered and said out loud, hoping he wouldn't forget. I got a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. Here's the first. I feel like all right, how do I say this without bragging? I'm going to tell you all something, but it's going to sound like it's bragging, but it might be a little bit bragging, but it might not, all right? Are you guys ready for this? Often in my life, because I quote a lot of movies and television shows, I'll say something clever, and somebody will say to me, "Where was that from?" And I'll have to tell them, it's not from anywhere. I just made it up. I'm somebody that makes a lot of things up that seem memorable. Now, you might think, Justin, you should take this kind of skill into the direction of writing. Maybe you should write for a living. I said I tried that. Way too hard. Way easier to just talk about things. So I'm trying to get some new shit off the ground. It just happened on the morning stream earlier. I got a new phrase. I want y'all to try and test drive it. So here's my mission to you guys. I want to see if you guys can take this, if you like it. I'm not trying to force anything down your throats here, people. If you like it, if you like this catchphrase, then please go ahead and use it. If not, don't. Leave it here. No one's going to weep for it. Are you ready? I got a wild hair up my ass, and I'm trying to dance it out. So this is like a way of like, oh, well, why are you doing this? I got a wild hair up my ass. I'm trying to dance it out. Like right now, I got a wild hair up my ass because I wanted to call all these presidential libraries and try to sell them contenders. By the way, the McKinley Library called my ass at 6:30 in the morning today. They're hot. They're hot for the product. I got a wild hair up my ass. Already a phrase, right? But I'm adding on it, trying to dance it out. I feel like this is an evocative phrase. I like it. People liked it on the morning stream. I'm going to try to use it. Daniel J. Newman says it sounds forced. That's fine. Don't use it. Again, there's no penalty in not using it. But if you do try to use it, let me know how it went. Wait, Zelos is in the chat is saying that he has never heard I got a wild hair at my ass. Really? I feel like that's a common thing. That's I got a wild hair at my ass is definitely a common phrase. Not try to shake it out, try to dance it out. Dance means you're taking positive actions toward what you have a wild hair up your ass about. Steve HNH says, I've heard the wild hair part, but not the up my ass part. Where do you think the wild hair goes? The wild hair goes up your ass. Anyway, all right. Second thing I want to talk about. I got 3 things I want to talk about. Here's the second thing. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the wild hair part. If y'all want to use it, use it. I'm going to try and test it out. I'm going to see how it goes. We can do it together or separately. It's up to you. Here's the second thing I want to talk about. There's this dude at my gym that looks like a thick Drake. Dude's got a Drake face. Dude's got Drake's haircut. Dude wears a chain like Drake. Motherfucker is very Drake-esque. Now, if I kind of looked like somebody, I would probably look to them for stuff like a haircut, right? I would maybe look to them in terms of styling in general. But the other day, we wound up working out at around the same time. I see him fairly regularly in the morning. And I see him the other day, and the dude's wearing an OVO shirt. If you're not hip to the Drake of it all, OVO, October's very own, is Drake's record label. He reps OVO. That's his clothing line. He's got an OVO clothing line. And I see this motherfucker out wearing an OVO shirt. So, of course, my first thought is this motherfucker really Drake? Did Drake just gain a lot of weight and start living in Oakland? Not a lot of weight. He's just a little thicker. I didn't say fat Drake. I said thick Drake for a reason. Moving on. So that's my first thought. Is this dude really Drake? Am I going to really feel like an idiot if, all of a sudden he's like, on his next mixtape, shout out to my gym's name in Oakland. I'll be like, holy shit, that was really fucking, I know he's on tour. It'd be really hard if he was actually Drake, but who knows? Maybe he's a Drake body double. Maybe Drake's got some Saddam Hussein shit going on. I don't know. But here's my question to you guys. Do you look like a celebrity? Number one. Number two, if you do, how much do you either try to intentionally distance yourself from that look, and how much do you try to steer toward it? So do you look like a celebrity? Have you ever been compared to a celebrity? And how much do you either steer toward or against that tide? Because I'm curious. I feel like that there's probably different points of view. I could assume if you look like somebody that you might not like, then you would try to do everything you could to not look like them. If you look like somebody that you really like and admire, maybe you want to look like them because you know that there is a definable standard of celebrity and beauty that you're not far away from. All you got to do is change your hair a little bit, wear a few different clothes. So I'm curious to know about that. Because I think at some point, this motherfucker looked in the mirror and said, I look like Drake. I'm going to start dressing like Drake. I want people to turn their heads twice at the Trader Joe's and be like, is that motherfucking Drake? That's what I did. Also, if you're a listener, shout out. Thick Drake at my gym. Tally Zarrell says, I look like the forgettable X from the L Word. Hey, listen, man, there's a con for every cosplay, Tally Zarrell, and you would be a hit at the dinosaur. That's all I'm saying. I got some sad news. This is the big news of the day. Y'all ready for this sad news? I got some sad news. End of an era, baby. End of an era. This is something that defined a part of my childhood. HBO is winding down and finally eliminating their late night lineup. HBO is out of the adult entertainment business. We read now from the Los Angeles Times, a story written by Stephen Battaglio. HBO's popular drama series The Deuce is set in New York Times in the 1970s before the New York neighborhood was purged of its X-rated movie houses and adult bookstores. But the cleanup of the cable network's own red light district is already complete. Earlier this summer, HBO quietly removed erotic adult movies and TV shows from its channels and streaming services. That means reality shows such as Taxi Cab Confessions, the documentary series Real Sex, and Cat House, which chronicled the life in a Nevada brothel, and specials featuring adult film star Katie Morgan are no longer available to HBO subscribers. The adult feature films are gone as well. Softcore erotic movies and sexually explicit programs has long been a staple of the premium cable channel, which became part of AT&T in June after the company completed its acquisition of HBO parent company Time Warner. This is from an HBO representative. Over the past several years, HBO has been winding down its late-night adult fare, an HBO representative said. While we're ramping up to our original program offerings, there hasn't been a strong demand for this kind of adult programming, perhaps because it's easily available anywhere. Now, this is true. Because back back in the 90s, there were two things. Number one, HBO was kind of decadent. HBO was for rich kids. Or kids with shiesty-ass parents that got cracked cable boxes and satellite cards. Shout out to all those. But the sweetest part, the sweetest element of the decadent truffle treat that was HBO was the weird and totally unpredictable pornography that they offered late at night. Nothing was more scattershot than Real Sex. Real Sex, a long-time documentary series for HBO, was usually comprised of 3 or maybe 4 different little vignettes. It's kind of like a news magazine. And without a doubt, one of those 4, sometimes 2, would be really sexy. It would be like, these young ladies like having explicit sex with each other, but they do it while wearing gray. And then it's just really hot girls having sex in gray outfits or whatever, right? And you're like, oh, yeah, there we go. And then immediately after that faded out, these 70-year-old hippies like tying their dicks together. Ah! Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. You better hope, man. The ending of that sexy Real Sex segment, that was like trying to escape. You know, the boulder was rolling behind you at all times, Indiana Jones style with the Real Sex. And then maybe it would go back. Maybe you'd be like, oh, this famous lady also likes to masturbate on camera. Okay. Here's a video of a woman giving birth to a child. Ah, Jesus. You never really knew. Taxicab Confessions was the same way. Taxicab Confessions, you would have, all of a sudden, like 2 girls. It's like, I don't know. I'm sick of dating men. Like, what do you say we just have sex in this cab? Boom. They're having sex in the back of the cab. Hello. And then immediately afterward, I think I'm going to kill myself. Ah! That's not the same. I'm not doing the same thing. Well, these are different shows. Why are you putting them together? But that was always the hole in the sheet that HBO had. They actually had a couple really good documentary series about the world of pornography, though. I think it was like Down in the Valley, if I remember correctly. But it was good. I remember enjoying it quite a bit. So there we go. Salute to a real one. HBO, late night programming. Out of here. Go ahead and hit me up. All your memories. I want to know whether or not you like my new saying. Your memories of HBO late night. And whether or not you look like somebody famous. And whether or not you steer away or into that skid. But first, we read your emails and comments. JuRyDaily@gmail.com is where you can send us email. M writes in, what the fuck? Why do people think that if immortality is ever discovered by humans, that it will be shared with the general populace? Rich people are going to hog it to live and rule over us forever. It's just common sense. Well, the biggest argument against that is that we have. I mean, if immortality is defined by the delaying of death, we've effectively done it. Certainly rich people tend to have longer lifespans than poorer people, but I think that there's like kind of a shelf. Like once you get to a certain level, the exponential factor of wealth to health kind of goes down a little bit. Like there's really not that much of a difference between somebody who makes probably $70,000 a year and $1 million a year. There's maybe for catastrophic stuff, but in terms of immortality, if we're looking at just curing death, that has trickled down. So that would be the argument against that. But who knows? Nick wrote in, millennials are killing the industry killing industry. It's funny. I read that wrong when I first put this in here. So I put it after M's thing because I'm like, millennials are kind of killing death. If we are to understand that our life expectancy continues to go up, millennials are indeed contributing to kill death, which is nice. Justin wrote in, Tallahassee isn't so bad. It's just not great. I was actually at a bar the other night. I met with this dude who went to Florida State. He's a black guy. And I joked that Tallahassee is made of cocaine and racism. And I stand by that story. That was Justin on YouTube. And Kate, who gave me the wedding story yesterday, the wedding story that I read, Kate wrote on Twitter, so glad you read the wedding nightmare that I tweeted you this morning. Reading the commentary from Chat Realm made my day. Well, Kate, thank you for sending that to me on Twitter at Justin R. Young. Big shout out to our producers, The Jen, PD Rave, Non-Specific, Rock and Roll Martian, Joe Acosta, and Will. Go ahead and email me, jurydaily@gmail.com, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, @justinryoung.com. Big shout out to the homie, Mike TV. Mike TV, maybe my favorite artist that I like. For my taste, ain't nobody better or a closer friend than Mike TV. So I want everybody who's listening to me right now, if you like music, go ahead on over to Mike TV Live on Twitch. He's streaming again. He's been touring for the last month and a half, 2 months. He's out in Europe now. So go check him out, twitch.tv/Mike TV Live, and thank you for the raid. Of course, join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Wacky. And please, don't.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.